Hello, Spiritual Mag. Update information on Donald Trump. Well, right now it's 11:37 a.m. It's January 21st, 2025. And I've been glued to the internet and the screen at all the things that have been going on since yesterday. All the bills have been signed. So things are happening that are kind of unbelievable. Totally, totally unbelievable. Now, okay, you need to, a suggestion would be appreciate that you're incarnated here on the earth for a reason. You're not in heaven. The earth is designed by divine creator as a school for you to learn lessons about compassion and patience, and not judging others. You can judge their actions, you can't judge their soul. So those are things that you have to kind of incarnate in a place like Earth to learn. So there's a lot of not nice stuff happening on the planet. It's a duality. The Earth is a duality. So as much good vibes as there's kind of like negative vibes. And the result is when you leave the planet, when you transition, go back to the other side, back to your true home, you are able to comprehend more how you are a spark of the divine, and it's a limitless experience because there's no time or space on the other side. So this is a brief episode in densification where not nice stuff happens to everybody as we learn our lessons with the least amount of pain. So it's the song, we learn our lessons with the least amount of pain. Doo-dah. So it's not supposed to change. We're not supposed to change the planet into a heaven. Okay, it's supposed to be negative people and positive people so that when people leave, they go back to the other side, they've advanced forwards. So we need to get that straight. The next thing is the last thing that the last president did was he wrote like a get out of jail card for anybody he ever knew forever. So it's a presidential, decree that everybody that did something illegal and, mutiny or treasonous gets out of free. And at the same time, that's what Biden did day before yesterday. And yesterday, Trump appointed Elon Musk and a bunch of other hardcore intelligent people to bust the people who did stuff treasonous and lied. Okay? Treasonous and lied. Tried to frame him. Maybe people that were involved in 9/11. Maybe people involved with President Kennedy assassination, Martin Luther King, Bobby's assassination. Maybe a lot of other stuff that's not good that was illegal, treasonous. Okay, so Biden's trying to, anybody even close to that's, you can't touch him now. Well, sorry about that. That's not the way it's going to work because that's not the way it works. And right now, the way Trump's coming on hard and strong with Elon and the other people to be, supervising the FBI and the CIA and the drones. You know what I mean? The drones? What's going on there? So we're going to examine that in just another moment. I'm what's called a news junkie, speech pathologist news junkie. Also, my uncle was a host of the Today Show, Frank McGee, NBC News. So what's happening on the media is going into your mind and into everyone's mind, and our minds are slowly getting blown, okay? Because stuff's going to come out that everyone believed, but it was a lie. It felt good, felt like the truth, but it was a lie. But somehow, things like Building 7 just didn't permeate the reality of where you were. You just kind of go, yeah, the building fell down before it. Or JFK, or Bobby, or Martin. Come on. So all those things that you've been sold and marketed our lives. And so what happens is when you suddenly wake up in the last 24 hours, all these bills that Trump just pumped through, what's happened is the Constitution becomes alive again. Holy mackerel. The Constitution means, privacy, freedom of speech, all that kind of stuff. And then also states' rights and individual rights. So suddenly it's like, you're not a slave anymore. Matter of fact, the big outfits that own all the media, all the food production, all the distribution, there's only like 6 of them, but they're all owned by like 3 companies, and they're all on the same board. So it's like, you can't get out of it, but now they're all in deep doo-doo. Because Trump's there, Elon's there, and it's happening going forwards. Now, the important thing about that is September 21st, 1996. 1996, September 21st. I'm a minister in training with Sylvia Celeste Brown, the world famous psychic. A light came out of my chest. I went to the other side. A being in a column of light, over there referred to as David, I asked some questions of. One of the questions I asked, this is 1996, I asked, what's going to happen to the United States? Telepathically, David responded, the country is going to collapse in on top of itself because of inadequate maintenance to its infrastructure. Those are the exact thought forms that came through telepathically. The country is going to collapse in on top of itself because of inadequate maintenance of infrastructure. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then David also fulfilled the question by saying that the country is going to break apart, and some of the governors are going to start a new organization, and it's going to be a new country based on the original Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and states' rights. And there's going to be some that remain the old country. They're doing a whole different thing. And then there's going to be the ones that start the new country. And that's what's going to happen. And the person who's going to lead that is Jesse Ventura. This is in 1996, being in a column of light in heaven, September 21st, 3 o'clock in the morning, says that the United States is going to collapse on itself and that the states are going to split up and there's going to be a new leader and his name's going to be Jesse Ventura. Well, when I learned that in 1996, the United States was going to collapse, I don't know. And then Jesse Ventura, he's a wrestler. I was like, a wrestler is going to... But you know what? The last 24 hours, Trump kicked ass on the Constitution. Big time. Elon Musk is scaring the crap out of people, going to get out of NATO, getting out of the World Health Organization. What the heck? So what's happening is everything's happening at once. Now, the drones. See, when I say a word like drones, you have a thought form that gets attached to those sounds, drones. But when you have beings from other locations, beings that are in vehicles of plasma, that you can see off in the distance, maybe thousands of miles away, they can be confused with a drone. So the reason that confusion's happening with the drones is getting people used to the idea that there's something up there that's kind of like a drone. It's not like a monster that's going to come down and eat you. Like, in all the science fiction Wi-Fi, the science fiction stuff that's been pumped into your brain, like the monster came out of the marsh or something. It's not like that. These off-planet beings are loving beings. Yeah, they're loving beings. And right now they're helping humanity. Okay? And if you're in favor of helping humanity, they're more than happy to help you. Now, what's going to happen is AI, artificial intelligence, is moving forward super fast. Like, chat, whatever, fast that took off, right? So AI is going super fast. Neuroscience is on a skyrocketing course of getting everybody to change. And then there's lack of privacy. So everything will be monitored even more than it is now. So those things are just skyrocketing forwards. This will hesitate and slow it down if we elevate consciousness and we start to participate with these higher consciousness beings that are slowly making themselves present. Okay? Now, there's going to be situations where Donald Trump is going to be sharing information that might kind of alter your mind. Okay? It might be something that you haven't thought of. Place to start would be he's taking the oath, and his beautiful spouse is there holding the Bible and there's another book. And you'll notice the positioning of President Trump's hands. It might mean that he believes in a divine source. He believes in a divine creator that's guiding him because, right now, your perspective changes when something like that happens. Now, if we all elevate our consciousness and begin to do things in a cooperative fashion, it's called service to self. It's called service to self. And Daisy, my guardian angel, and I, along with a small cadre of off-planet beings who are loving beings, want to help the planet and get things rolling with civilian core. That's civilians independently on their own make a commitment to the female aspect of divinity to help the environment, to help elevate consciousness. So you're not joining a club. You're not going to have a membership to something. You're on your own, but it's like a letter to the universe. Okay? And something more powerful than anything that you can comprehend right now, because thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. And now everyone's gradually becoming dehypnotized from what they've been learning on television and in the educational system. So it's going to move very, very quickly. And the idea is pay close attention to information that reputable people are sharing. Okay? Okay, now it's Tuesday after lunch. So Trump's made it this far. And I've been watching him line signing these bills, right? He looks like he's kind of tired, to be honest with you. Probably been on a binge party for, 2 days or something. So, well, I'd like to say everything's to be a nice, smooth ride, but and I know it's not going to be. It's just not going to be, man. No, 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 no. Okay, no, no, no. We might have them outnumbered, but we might not have them outgunned. Okay? And depending on what kind of things they'll sacrifice to get their point across, the end justifies the means. It's not over. Okay? It's not over. Now, it's be kind of like a slow motion train crash or two trains. So you just had California, get nuked, burned up. It's like 1 week. That was 1 week. That was just a starter. Then what's going to happen is the deportations are going to be kicking off. So that means that if you're in a location that's a sanctuary city, they're not going to want the feds, the federal government to come in and grab you. So right away, California is going to start doing something different than, Nevada. And they touch each other. So what happens is the governors are going to take physical control of their jurisdiction with their own state police, their own National Guard, state National Guard, and their own sheriffs. So might not be able to get from LA into Las Vegas very easy. They might have a stop there. Well, there's going to be other places you're not going to get into Texas or out of Texas. Okay? Once the wall goes up and everybody's getting, pumped out, if you've got people like, mom and dad and grandpa and grandma and the baby, they're going to have a problem. But if you've got gangbangers with machine guns and hand grenades and fire blowing drones, it's a war. Okay. So that can happen. That means that a lot of lessons are going to be learned the hard way. That's exactly what it means. A lot of lessons to be learned the hard way. A lot of innocent people are going to get injured. I'm sorry to say that, but that's what will happen. So, civilian corps is service to others. Okay, you take care of yourself, and you take care of other people around you. Suddenly, it's a lot better than the reverse, where you're on your own and everything's like scared. So, service to self is not going to work. Service to self, greed for control, is not going to work anymore. Okay? Because everyone will elevate their consciousness who's left. Because if you haven't elevated your consciousness, your life probably didn't last very long. Seriously. It's not going to get prettier. It's not going to get prettier. Okay? You have establishment organizations like the Vatican, Rome, the IRS, BlackRock, the big corporations, the corporations that make their money by stabilizing and creating wars nonstop, back to back, and the people involved with that. They're not going to go away. Okay, and they're not going to suddenly, turn over and say, let's all play nice. It's not going to happen that way. It's going to be a lot of bloodshed. And the best way for you to avoid that is elevate your consciousness. Okay? Stay indoors. Don't go out into the streets and raise hell. Don't do disrespectful things to people's property and people. Don't do things like that. Karma is, you're not going to have to wait for another lifetime to be the recipient of your own karma. Be like immediate. Okay. Now, in conclusion, Earth is a school. You're here to learn these lessons because this is the toughest part of the university, of the Earth School, about loving yourself and loving others. Not judging yourself and not judging others. You can't judge the actions. And then when you get to the other side, you find out why all the stupid stuff happened. Okay? And then you're there for eternity. It's like, I could do an incarnation, no big deal. But at the time you're in it, it's a lot of feelings, a lot of thoughts, a lot of sensations, a lot of things that get into your heart and into your mind and into your consciousness. And those are the things you bring back with you when you pass on. Okay? Remember, civilian core, spiritual mag. You and all your loved ones are always in my prayers.